Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I've had a few people ask me as summer is coming our direction if Arizona is going to be affected by a water shortage that they are expecting. And I don't have a whole lot of answers for that. I know that a lot of water comes from the Colorado River and rivers like that, but that they're used for growing for irrigation. But here, and I think almost everywhere in Arizona that I've seen, they have wells. Like here, what we're looking at. This is where we get our water at our house, and I'm sure that other parts of this area will also get water from this, but I can't say for sure. I used to be in charge of a system like this when I was one of the administrators at a boarding school in Othello, Washington, and we were on the top of a hill which had been a Nike site radar base, and so they had a well, and then they had, wasn't all this big, it wasn't all, but they had a well and a pump, and then they would pump up the pressure in a tank like you see over on the right over there, and then that would be the water pressure in people's homes rather than having a tower, water tower. So the pump, we're looking at the pump right there in the lower part of the picture, and it looks to me like it feeds over to the big tank there, and it comes out of the tank over there on the right side of the tank, comes across over to the compressor and the storage tank, and then as water is used and the pressure goes down in that tank, then a pump comes on and pumps more water in. So that's how they do it, and this is used all over the area here. In fact, I'm going to show you some, and while I'm doing that, I'll tell you a story of my high school years when I was driving my 1951 Plymouth. So as we zoom up here and look down the road, when I was in one of my previous videos, I told about being rear-ended by a bread truck, and it messed up my car. Well, at that very same intersection, one other time I was headed into Seattle from where we lived, and I had a green light. No, I'm sorry, I had a red light, and it was just about to turn green. And then the cross street, there was a car that was coming, and he put his brakes on because it was just about to turn red, and then the guy behind him rear-ended him. And so, and the guy, now here, right there in the middle of the screen, that's another water tank. And then further across over there, there's two water tanks, as you can see, together. And so this water tank close by, it supplies water to these houses. And then straight across there is another housing development, and that's where my granddaughter and her husband live. And so that's how they get their water. Also, out straight ahead, we're going to look at it here. It's at the top left of the picture. There's some more over there. You can see the big white objects there. There's one straight ahead at the center, and then there's a couple more over to the left. Well, anyway, so this guy rear-ended this guy and backed up and turned around and took off. So in my 51 Plymouth, I took off after him to get his license plate. And so he was way ahead of me, and it took me a while to try to catch up with him. But he made a right turn hoping to lose me, and I made a right turn pretty quickly. And he had to slow. There was this little narrow bridge that went over I think it was the Duwamish River, they called it. And so he had to slow down to go over that bridge, and that gave me a chance to catch up with him. And finally, I got his license plate and turned around, went back to the accident scene, and there was a policeman there and the guy that got rear-ended. And I gave him the license. There's another tank over there just left of the center of the screen. that you can see. Anyway, so I gave them all the information. They wanted my information, gave my address and phone number and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, then I went on my way into town and did whatever I was going to do that day. Now this development here is brand new. This used to be a field when we moved out to where where my son lives. This was all some kind of alfalfa field, or anyway. So it's all been changed in just the last couple of years. So I rode through there on my bike, and I could not find a tank for water. So I don't know where they get their water, although I do have an idea that it might be coming from the same tank we use. So anyway, to finish up the story, a week or so or a month or so later, I got a letter to appear in court to testify about this guy that did the hit and run thing. And so I drove back into town, and I went to the courtroom, and I don't know whatever happened. I had to, tell him I saw the wreck. I saw the guy turn around. I saw him take off, and so I took off after him. And then as I understand, the guy, he claimed that somebody had stolen his car, and so he wasn't driving. I don't know how it all came out, but that was another experience of me being Mr. Policeman. And there's the tank that we just looked at, and it might be, because see, there's not all that many houses where we are, so it might be used to supply water to the houses in that new development. So anyway, and that's the story of my car wreck, or my policeman duties. And what I want to do before we finish, I want to show you the way I landed my drone as we come in here. Not a very smart thing. I did not turn off object avoidance, and then I wanted to come up and land next to my building. And of course, I just thought, well, I'll get as close as I can. So there's my wife down there. She's working on that mysterious door that I can't tell you anything about right now. But she's working painting it gray, the frame of it. As I come in here, I'm standing over there to the left. I'm going to come in just by my son's Chevy pickup and land on that little square piece of concrete like I normally do. So let's go ahead and listen. Now I thought if I push it in there far enough, I might make it. And so I got in there, and then DJI Dorothy wanted to land, and so she did, and of course went off to the edge of the concrete. And that's my sweetheart over there painting that mysterious door. And so we'll zoom in on her and see how pretty she is. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and stay tuned. I've got more stories. And God bless.